In 1917, two ships collided in a Canadian harbour. What followed was the largest man-made explosion in human history before the atomic bomb. It killed nearly 2,000 people in an instant, and one man who could have run chose to stay and saved hundreds of lives with a single message. It's December 1917, and Halifax, Nova Scotia, is one of the busiest ports on Earth. The First World War is raging, and this harbour is the gateway for men, weapons, and supplies crossing the Atlantic to Europe. Ships crowd the narrow channel every day. And on the morning of December 6, a French cargo ship called the Mont Blanc slips into the harbour, packed to the brim with explosives, bound for the front. What almost no one in the city knows is just how dangerous that ship is. Her cargo is thousands of tons of high explosives and flammable fuel, a floating bomb. And in the crowded Narrows, a series of misjudgments unfolds between the Mont Blanc and an outbound Norwegian ship, the Emo. Neither yields in time. The two vessels scrape together, sparks fly, and fire erupts on the Mont Blanc's deck. The crew, knowing exactly what's beneath their feet, abandon ship and row frantically for shore. The burning ship drifts toward a pier, and a crowd gathers to watch the spectacle, with no idea what's coming. But in a nearby railway office, a train dispatcher named Vince Coleman learns the truth. That ship is loaded with explosives, and it's about to go up. He and his colleague run. And then Coleman stops. He remembers the passenger train full of people due to arrive any moment. He turns around, goes back to his telegraph key, and taps out a warning to halt the incoming train, knowing it will likely cost him his life. His last message ended, roughly, with a goodbye. Then the Mont Blanc detonated. The explosion was almost incomprehensible, a blast so powerful it was, at the time, the largest man-made explosion the world had ever seen. A huge section of the city was flattened instantly. A shockwave tore through Halifax, collapsing buildings and shattering windows for kilometers. Part of the ship's anchor was hurled kilometers away. Nearly 2,000 people were killed and around 9,000 injured, many blinded by flying glass as they stood watching from their windows. And the horror wasn't over. Fires raged through the ruins, and a tsunami surged up from the harbour, sweeping away everything along the shore. Then, as if the city hadn't suffered enough, a blizzard struck the very next day, burying survivors and rescuers in snow and paralyzing relief efforts. Help poured in from across Canada and the United States. The city of Boston sent aid so swiftly and generously that Halifax still sends Boston a Christmas tree every year, in thanks to this day. The Halifax Explosion changed things. The medical response to so many eye injuries advanced the treatment and care of the blind. The disaster reshaped how cities think about hazardous cargo and emergency planning. And Vince Coleman's warning worked. The incoming train was stopped, and the hundreds aboard were spared. He never got to see it. He died at his post, sending a message to strangers he would never meet. Halifax rebuilt. The scars faded. But in a world that remembers its disasters mostly by their death tolls, this one deserves to be remembered for something else. A man who had every chance to run and sat back down instead.